You could be missing out on £40,000 or more worth of completely free and tax-free childcare benefit. The UK government has recently announced the largest expansion in UK childcare support system, which means that for parents with children under the age of 5, far more help is now available to support childcare than there was ever before. If you want to understand how this operates, please carry on watching my video. And if you like the contents of this video or my channel in general, please do not forget to subscribe. I'm going to talk about, in very simple terms, what is the eligibility criteria for these childcare support schemes, how much benefit, which is actually quite a lot, you might be entitled to, and under what conditions, what the income criteria are, and how the benefit changes depending on the age of your children. What we will also talk about towards the end is a very interesting thing, which I've coined the term for, £100,000 cliffhanger, which means how this scheme actually, beyond the fact that actually it's a very good scheme, it's an awesome scheme, but it disadvantages children, parents who are earning anywhere close to 100,000 or slightly more. But we will talk about that towards the end. Now, the first things first, let's understand the basic eligibility criteria for this scheme. So if you're a two-parent family, the basic income criteria for you is that this scheme applies to you as long as both of you are working and earning the minimum wage, which is equal to £167 a week or £8,600 a year, and both of you have to be earning less than £100,000 a year. If this criteria is not met in any one of the two cases, the scheme doesn't apply. So if your partner is not working, for example, most provisions of the scheme do not apply. The scheme is created to encourage parents to return to work. Therefore, it only applies in the cases where both parents are working, earning a minimum wage, but earning less than £100,000 a year. So as long as this criteria are met, you can extract some sort of benefit out of the scheme. Now, the rest of the criteria is largely dependent upon the age of the child. Let's start with the lowest age bracket first, 9 months to 2 years. Currently, there is no support available for this age bracket of children between 9 months and 23 months, or 9 months and roughly up to 2 years. But from September 2024 onwards, there will be 15 hours a week of free childcare available to you, which will go up to 30 hours a week from September 2025. Just to put things into context, 15 hours means roughly 2 working days, and 30 hours mean 4 working days. And as the UK term time is 38 weeks, that's how long the schools are open for, the 38-week period times 15 hours a week equates to 570 hours over the year from September 24, which then doubles to 1,140 hours as it becomes 38 times 30 from September 2025. So just to recap, you will have entitlement of 570 hours a year worth of childcare from September 24, as long as your child is between the ages of 9 months and 23 months, which will double to 1,140 from September 25. Again, to put things into financial context, what does that mean? The average childcare cost is roughly give or take £15 an hour. From September 24, that effectively equates to 570 hours times £15 an hour, £9,000. And from September 25, as it doubles, is roughly £18,000. So that's £18,000 worth of benefit that is being given to you completely free. And also just to understand how this all operates in terms of where can you go to apply for it, only registered childcare agencies and registered childminders are the ones that can be your child can go to utilize this benefit. And I will leave some links in the description below which will tell you how to go about finding these registered childcare providers or childminders. So overall, between the ages of 9 months and 23 months, you're entitled to 15 hours a week from September 24, which doubles to 30 hours a week from September 25. And by the way, a very important point, you don't have to take the 2 working days of the 15 hours every week. How you decide to utilize this 570 hours or the 1,140 hours from September 25 is completely up to you. As long as your childcare provider has the capacity to accommodate you, you can spread these hours the way you feel fit. But an absolutely brilliant advantage in my view. Now, once your child is turned 2, between the age of 2 to 3, from April 2024, your child will be entitled to 15 hours of free childcare as long as they're between the ages of 2 to 3. So slightly earlier than the age group from 9 months to 23, which kicks in September 24. The age bracket between 2 years and 3 years kicks in April 24 for 15 hours a week of free childcare. That increases to 30 hours a week in September 25. So comes in line with the lower age bracket. But from April 24, they're entitled to 15 hours a week of free childcare, which doubles to 30 hours in September 25, a year and a half later. Now, this is again absolutely brilliant. By the way, for parents with children with additional needs, There is already a childcare scheme in this bracket, and I'll leave a link in the description where we can talk. We can understand that a little bit more. Now, the reason why the government is actually staggering the timing of this is to allow the childcare providers to adjust to the increased capacity requirements or the increased safety requirements or other requirements that are needed to accommodate the increased number of children that will be coming through the childcare support system. So between the ages of 2 and 3, again, 15 hours a week from April 24, increasing to 30 hours a week from September 25. Now, the last age bracket is between the ages of 3 and 4 before the children are ready to go to school. As long as you're meeting the income criteria, you're entitled to 30 hours a week already, and that will carry on. So the scheme is already in place where you can get 30 hours a week of free childcare for the children between the ages of 3 and 4, which will absolutely carry on exactly the way it is. As long as you're meeting the criteria of working families, which means both parents are earning more than the minimum wage, but earning less than £100,000 a year. And by the way, if you're not meeting the earning criteria, which is you're earning either more than 100,000 or one parent is not working or any other reason as a result of which you're not meeting the income criteria, you're still entitled to 15 hours a week of free childcare as long as your child is between the age of 3 and 4. So the only age bracket where you do not have to meet the the income criteria to still get the 15 hours a week of free childcare is between the ages of 3 and 4. A little complicated, but hopefully you understand the gist of how this operates in different age brackets. And now, in addition to these childcare schemes, which are completely available to you as long as you carry on meeting the income criteria, there is another childcare scheme which can be used simultaneously with these childcare schemes called the tax-free childcare. The tax-free childcare scheme is where you open up a childcare account, and for every £8,000 you put into it out of your own money, the government contributes another £2,000 of completely free money. So overall, your benefit could be quite large if you have 2 children, or even for one child, it could be easily up to £20,000 a year, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, one thing that I spoke about at the beginning was how this scheme unfairly disadvantages couples where even one of them is earning more than 100,000 or slightly more than 100,000. Let's give you a practical example of how this operates. Let's assume a scenario with a husband and a wife, or a male partner, female partner. The male partner is earning, I don't know, £95,000 a year, lucky enough to be. The wife's earning, or the female partner is earning £50,000 a year. Your take-home salary from the husband, in this case, from 95 is roughly £67,000 a year. And from the wife is about 35. So all in all, you're taking about £100,000 of after-tax income home. Plus, you're getting, if you have 2 children, £40,000 worth of childcare benefit. Do not forget, if you have 1 child, you're getting 20,000. So your take-home salary, including the childcare benefit, could be 120,000 or 140,000, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, assume a scenario where the husband's just increased the income from 95 to 100 or 95 to 101. They've made an extra £6,000, which means that the net income is going to go up by roughly 3,000. So previously they were earning 65, now they're going to earn 68. The wife's on the same, so all in all, they're now earning £102,000 or £103,000 as opposed to the £100,000 they were earning before. However, the entire childcare benefit is now taken away from them because one of the partners has reached the 100,000 cap limit, which I think is completely unfair and leaves them far worse off, far more poorer, and no incentive to effectively work harder or increase the income. They rather stay below the £100,000 limit, and even if they're employed, go to the employer and say, I really do not want to pay a rise because my £20,000 worth of childcare benefit, if I have 1 child, or £40,000 if I have 2, will be completely taken away. I think this is actually quite unfair, and the government really needs to reevaluate this and perhaps consider a staggering approach as to how maybe a small percentage might be taken away if people are increasing their income over £100,000. But currently, this completely disproportionately disadvantages parents who even earn slightly above £100,000, and parents who are earning less than £100,000 are far better off than parents who are earning more than £100,000. So this is what I wanted to cover in this video. If you like the contents of this, please share, like, subscribe. And in case you want to understand anything else around this, you can feel free to leave a comment. And I will leave some links in the description, which will make you understand the childcare schemes in UK far better. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.